Hey traders and investors, it's Serge Berger here. In today's video, I want to have a look at Facebook. Facebook is one of the few stocks year to date in the broader picture that is actually up sharply. And this is something that we need to respect and something that we need to keep into context with what's going on in the broader market. Very simply put, I think Facebook has rallied too much here post earnings. And so let's have a look at what's going on and what a trade is that we could possibly set up. So at the very core of what I'm looking at here is I'm seeing a stock that, as you can see very simply and visually, that has taken an already very steep slope to now a vertical leap. All right, and this is all within the context of global growth slowing. Now let's, on the other hand, still understand that what's going on with Facebook is that it's one of the few believable and well-known growth stories out there. And I keep repeating this about Facebook, and which is one reason, or one of the main reasons, why it continues to get chased higher. It is a growth story indeed, but it's one of the few believable ones. So that's why it's getting even more traction and being chased higher. All right. So that's the big picture. Let's look at this a little bit more closely in terms of the time frame, so that we understand a little bit where we are and how we got here, and maybe where we're going. So first of all, if we just draw some very basic parallel channels, which is probably a smart thing to do here, you'll see that we are indeed bumping into the very upper end of a trading range that essentially has been around here since, let's call it last August. All right, it's a very wide trading range, but then again, this is a very volatile or jerky stock, so to speak. So that's one big reason to start becoming very concerned about where the stock's heading in the near term. I'm very bullish on the stock as well, medium and certainly long term, but this move is overdone. All right. Now let's look at something else. Look what's happening here. This is the up gap that the stock gave us last week, and ever since, the stock has basically been rallying four days straight. So far, as I'm recording this on Tuesday, February 2nd, we're getting the fourth straight rally day. Of course, the day isn't over yet, so who knows what's going to happen. But I do think it's very likely that the stock's going to start mean reverting lower. It's not going to fall apart, so to speak, but I do think it's pretty likely that the stock's going to give us some sort of mean reversion move lower. If we look at this from a MACD perspective, these are just very basic momentum oscillator things. We are starting to see some near-term oversold things here as well. So there's a lot of reason why we want to get more cautious. Now, how do you trade this? Well, for one, one could certainly go out there and short the Facebook stock. On the other hand, I'm looking at the options market, but more specifically, I'm looking at March or maybe even April options. I'm looking to buy some put options, maybe a little bit slightly in the money, maybe whatever we can get, maybe 115s. I'm sorry, that'd be out of the money. I'm sorry, I'm looking to buy out of the money put options. Excuse me for the miscommunication. 115s, maybe even 110s or something like that would be interesting for me to buy some put options. Now, the reason why is because from an implied volatility perspective, the implied volatility, to give you guys a bit of a visual on this, let me drag over this chart. This is the implied volatility in options of Facebook, and you can see how it was very high, so in the mid 50s in mid-January, and as we came into earnings and certainly after earnings, this implied volatility has now tumbled quite a bit, so we're somewhere in the low 30s for most of these options, even the high 20s. So implied volatility has come quite down, and the stock has gone absolutely vertical at the upper end of resistance. I think it's an interesting trade here to buy some puts in Facebook for a mean reversion move, maybe just back to the 108 area, maybe even less. It's not a massive move, but this can really, you can get some really good returns on a trade like this if you buy put options on it. So I hope this makes sense, guys. As always, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.